I've been foraging for 20 years and I recently designed a tool to make fruit gathering way easier. You can make it yourself for free, and here's how. I've been gathering a lot of small berries, and I have been using a flat basket and just whacking them off into that, and I've used various other things. Like for hackberry, I use a big container made out of plastic, a storage container. Basically the principle is need something to shove underneath the plant that's going to collect all the stuff, and it helps if it's easy to make it sort the material that falls off afterwards. But anyway, this is what I've come up with. It's just some duck cloth stitched to a piece of PEX pipe. PEX is a flexible plumbing pipe, and it's very cheap. I think this is like a 6-foot section. I just looped around itself and secured it using a section of 3/4 inch PEX. This is 1/2 inch PEX. Anyway, very flexible stuff, easy to make a rim because I want it to be somewhat flexible, to be able to just shove into places. The duck cloth, I had that idea first because I noticed I usually use a basket, a flat basket to whack berries into. I noticed a lot of them bounce off. Especially when I replay the videos I made of that, I was like, wow, a lot of them sure are bouncing off. If it was a softer material like cloth, they're not gonna bounce off as badly. So this is more of a prototype. It's gone through several iterations. It was very difficult to come up with a proper handle. That's another problem with the basket. You have to hold it by the edge, and this you can't even grip by the edge. So I had a string across. Anyway, this is hopefully the final development. I haven't tried it yet, but I got a stick made of persimmon wood, Texas persimmon, and we're gonna try to use this and see how it works. Yeah, I don't see anything bouncing off these, and they all settle down to the bottom. I like the sticks, you can like shove it in there without having to get your hands in there, because a lot of shrubs in the area are very spiny. So this method can be used for collecting all sorts of small berries. Lately I've been using it for stretch berries, but this would be great for hackberries and pretty much anything except for maybe something really big and fleshy like the plums. I'd probably still just gather those by hand. I like gathering these the same way as I do for smaller fruits, but you need a much more gentle tap on the plants because the fruits are so heavy, you'll be liable to release the unripe ones. Yeah, and it's very convenient to sort of put it at an angle and really get in there. Yeah, I'm really... Here's a problem though. I need to watch out for a lower branch pushing up the berries I've collected, but I don't think I can improve on this much more. And I just did a really rough hand stitch around the rim. But with the sewing machine, I can stitch that hem very quickly. I need to try that. These are some nice agarita berries on this plant, by the way. And the way it kind of settles at the bottom, it kind of forces the leaves and the bigger debris to the top of the pile. Easy to throw off. Well, I think I'm happy with this final design here. Very inexpensive. Just a yard of canvas or duck cloth, stick, some cordage, and PEX pipe. It's also convenient after you've gathered some to put your hand underneath there and lift it up to sort out the debris. But I usually don't do that till I've filled up the basket. And once I have filled it up, I can empty it into another bag. And that keeps the berries that I've sorted from the debris, from the fresh ones off the bush. This thing's awesome, actually. At this point, it gets a little bit too heavy to handle much more, but I got a ton right here, several pounds at least. Willow is highly flexible, so find you a straight green shoot about the diameter of a finger that's unbranched for 5 feet. You can easily peel off the bark if it's spring or summer, then you trim it down evenly to a uniform diameter. You can bend it to test if it's flexible enough, but be careful not to break it. It doesn't need to form a full hoop quite yet. You keep it wet so you can get it into a bath as hot as possible, which will make it more flexy. Then you bend it into shape and secure it with cordage. Mine actually broke at a section, but I secured it back by wrapping that section with cordage. For the easier PEX pipe rim, you get a 5 foot or so long section of 1/2 inch pipe, and all you need is a scrap piece of 3/4 inch to secure the ends in a hoop. And you cut around the hoop about 5 inches away from it, which gives it that nice sag. A rough, uneven edge is fine. For the fabric, canvas or duck cloth are best, and anything should work, but I do recommend using natural fibers to avoid microplastics in your food. Then just go around the rim with a stitch, and it's easier if you periodically scrunch it up. Once it's stitched up, scrunch it up evenly around the rim and attach the handle. I actually sewed and lash stick-on with artificial sinew. I got a ton right here. This thing's awesome, actually.